in our one day, then we add it and make you work for 48 hours in one day. But here it is. It does not work. That's not how the system is. But do you think, is it fair enough to just deport her because of, flaunting the law? Don't you think that's a bit harsh? Looking at how much she has spent so far. First coming there, the visa, no, that's a whole lot. So what do you think?
Thank you again. I'm going to be brief because it's very sad, very heartbroken, and it's sad for parents who must have spent a lot of money, pounds, sterlings, for just a simple mistake. Well, I call it simple. To the eyes of the law in UK, it's not simple.
It's not simple, yeah.
And that means that's where system works, not here individual works. It's unfortunate that no sympathy. You are talking about when you were bringing me and you mentioned about, you went about sentiment. There's no sentiments there. There are people who have standard. Everything must work. Not in Nigeria that they will enslave you. You work extra, maybe 24 hours, 48 hours, and you'll be exploited, you'll be cheated. At the end of the day, they will not even pay you the extra time. But in UK, everything is automated, everything is organized, everything is regulated, unlike here. So, like I said, I'm going to be brief because it leaves much to be desired, because parents should be careful, and we should also teach our children to be disciplined, to be diligent in whatever they are doing, and work according to dictates of their host country. That is what we are saying. When you go to a place, please be mindful of their culture, the rules and regulation, what they believe, and not unlike Nigeria, everything go. But Nigeria is a good place. So do you know why it's a good place? You can get away with anything. If it were Nigeria, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
So unfortunate, I empathize with her, that's with the family. The young lady, I think she's already deported, and the period is gone. I don't know how she's going to do. Parents, please, the parents of that girl, I think, please take heart. It's one of those things, some of the hazard of these things. That's the disadvantages of going there and not playing according to the rule of the system there. So, Blossom, I think we need to caution our people. When you go into any society, any organization, even like I normally advise my people in Lagos here, when you come to a place, please work as much as possible to be careful of their rules and regulation. Don't go and impose your own system or culture there. That is what she thought maybe it's in Nigeria. Nigeria will now overlook it. Maybe one of the officers here must have been offended and she must have stepped into one of their toes, and that is why it happened to one of my friends, the managing director, with due respect, managing director of May and Baker. The daughter suffered the same thing, but she found a way to sort it out. So it's unfortunate. You have to be very, very careful when you go to another man's country. You have to work according to their laws. Yeah. Not here now we are lawless. There's impunity here, but there it's teleguided, and she has fallen into the wrong hands. Yeah, she has she spent the supreme price of forfeiting whatever she has studied. Coming back now to start afresh. May God help her.
Okay, all right. So, anyways, for those who are watching us and you want to also have something to say as regards this, what do you think can be done, or what would you have preferred that the UK government does? So, let me go back to you. The number is displayed below Square TV, anyways. So, Chris, now from my explanation, she stated that it's because of the demand from her family, especially her father. That's why she decided to walk overboard just to be able to meet the target end. So what would you say about that?
All right, let me start from the point of empathy, because knowing the level of investment that goes into making the trip to UK, the money that has been paid for the study, and then all of that is a whole lot of investment that has gone down the drain. And seeing her tears, I feel very sorry for her, and for her parents, and those are depending on her, because being in UK working, she will have a lot of dependents, all right? And now all of a sudden that hope has been dashed. So I feel a pain, and I sincerely sympathize with her. But this should also teach us Nigerians a lesson, because we are used to being lawless as a people. An average Nigerian is lawless. We don't obey traffic lights. We just don't apply ourselves to laws and rules. So we get abroad and then we think we can get away with what to get away with in Nigeria, and it catches up with us. For crying out loud, the law is the law. You were told 20 hours limit. You just abide by that. Don't take the risk. I know people do that, but one day you'll be caught, and then sincerely, you'll have a call for a pity party, whatever. It's on the other side. But the thing is, just be law abiding. You were told you have 20 hours limit. Don't stay a second beyond that. In fact, don't even get your 20 hours. So you'll be tempted to go over it. Just stay within the orbit of the law. That's it. And then that tells us how structured the UK is. All right. So it is structured that so much that once you step on the law, they will pick you. All right. That's a nation. That's a serious nation. All right. So they put in the work to structure their system to what they have today. So what are we? You compare that to Nigeria, you just cry for the nation. So Nigeria is like an open forest where anything goes. There's no pattern. There's no, you look at Nigeria, and whenever I'm opportune to say this, most people that have not been opportune to travel to this nation will not understand how terrible the unstructured state of Nigeria is. If you've been opportune to stay abroad, live abroad, and you see how the system works, you will cry. In fact, you weep blood for this nation. So disorganized, so unstructured. I mean, it's terrible. And you ask yourself, the political elites, the leaders, the managers of the nation, what have they been doing over the decades that the nation has been this naked? Okay, so what have they been doing? What have they been doing with the nation? But anyway, we also know that the unstructured state of the nation works for them. All right, that's how selfish and greedy that they are. But and again, you look at why go to UK in the first place to study? Don't we have education system in Nigeria to work while studying? Don't we have economy here in Nigeria? Because she needed to move over there for greener pasture. I have been opportunity to live in South Africa. I've been to South Africa several times. South Africans don't travel abroad. It's a waste of time for them. They don't. You hardly see a South African travel abroad. You hardly see a Moroccan travel abroad. Egyptians travel abroad. They stay in their country because they've built a system. They have a viable economy. They don't do that. I mean, the other time US President Donald Trump, for that matter, was having problems with South African president, the guy could call off his bluff. Because he's not living in America. South Africa is not living in America. They structured their nation such that they are self-reliant. They're not even looking. I'm not sure of any country giving aid to South Africa. They don't need it. Unlike Nigeria, that is seeking for aid here and there, despite all that we have. Okay, because we're not structured as a nation. So our people keep trooping out for greener pasture. Some even go through hell, passing through the desert, passing through water to travel, and then they sink in the middle of the ocean, and they go through desert, all because they're seeking for greener pasture abroad. They even do that to go to Libya. They put their lives on the line just to get across to Libya to escape the hell in Nigeria. Why? How do you run down the nation aground to the extent that Nigerians travel, go through desert. People die like fowl in the desert trying to get to Libya. They travel on the Mediterranean Sea, they sink in the sea just because they want to get out. It's painful. So, if there's anything to pick from this story of this lady, it is the fact that it also challenges us to build our nation. If our nation is built with what we have, Nigerians won't need to be pumping money, abroad for education and all of that. We have it here. Then we will get our system to work. So build our nation. And then lastly, I will say for the girl, well, it's sad this has happened. Maybe a bit difficult for her to want to start over again, but she has no option. She shouldn't think suicide. She should be courageous and then just start all over again. She will probably gain some experience and then living abroad. And I just hope that she will have the guts and the courage to kickstart her life all over again.
Okay.
Yeah, you see,
I'm sorry. Let's pick a call. I want to hear some of our view. Okay, this has dropped. All right. Yes.
Yeah, Chris had just brought me out from my shell. Next week we are going to celebrate what? How many years? 65.
Independence. 60s.
I remember 1975 I left secondary school. I think you call them Briton or British people.
Yeah.
Briton a bit.
It applies differently.
Fine, fine. They were coming here to teach in some of the secondary schools in the north, even including here. They were applying to study in University of Osaka. They were studying in UI. They were studying in most of these our highly respected
It's true. I
universities.
remember Walter Carrington, the former U.S. ambassador in Nigeria, studying in UI.
So I remember one of my friends, his name was Tony, who was teaching in Uruno, Teachers Training College in Sokoto. Was a Briton. Now, you see, at 65, we are still crawling. I've been invited for a talk for independence next week. And I have been weeping what to say. Because this lady, she mentioned the pressure from the parents. And you don't know the process she went before she got the visa. Before she went through there, we never knew whether she went through back door, blah, 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 blah. And it has now been thrown to the dust. What an experience. So, you talk about system. You know, when I was talking, I started with a system that is working. Here we are building strong individuals instead of strong institutions. Right? Now, JAM last year, you see what JAM fumbled this year. The same thing with WAEC. Right? That's a system that is collapsing. And when we talk, they say we are talking. If we cannot talk at this age, why will we talk again? So that lady, I very much, in fact, that's why I said I was going to be brief because it's very sad, very disheartening to the parents. They hope, who knows whether she is, maybe, whether the father is gone. And maybe the mother, who knows whether they must have sold their lands to make sure that she goes there. And now, that hope has been dashed. May God help her.
Yeah.
But it's a lesson to those of us.
All right, so let's pick this call and I read something very important. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, that dropped. Well, I just want to lead that there are legal provisions for working hours in Nigeria. So I'm just going to briefly read through so that we know. Well, according to Labor Act Section 13, well, there's no specific amount of days you should come to work, but there should be at least one resting day, and overtime should be compensated. Then also there should be rest, there should be breaks, and the break should be at least 1 hour during the working hours. And like I said earlier, if you're being paid annually, then your compensation should also come annually. Then for employers, for employees rather, there are no direct legal penalties for employees who actually exceed their working hours. I think that's understandable because they own the company that they run. Then, of course, there are also fines and sanctions for people who go against this or that. It's a whole lot, but if you go through the Labor Act, it is all there, which is very, very important. Another key thing I think I want us to also check out is the part where, I think it's the resting time. I think it's the resting time. Yeah, the resting time is very important. That one should not be played around with. If it's played around with either the employee or the employer, there's a fine and there's a sanction to that. So we also have laws, but they are not. How will I say? They probably need to be reviewed. If I want to, if I have
What
to
you
say
have raised, does it apply in Nigeria? Sorry. You see, I don't know why you read that. You see,
I read it because a lot of people not even know that there's an
go to Agege there, where they, I don't want to mention the company's name. If you see how they enslaved workers and paid them peanuts. Okay, it's okay. Don't worry. Let us go so that Chris will not bring me out.
Okay, let me pick this call. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from? Okay, Destiny from Egbeda. Please go ahead. We're listening to you, sir.
And what I must say, one of the closed and not open to so they can take up.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, she will take heart. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm Abudu Raine from Ipaja.
Okay, I'm doing from Ikaja. Okay, Ikaja. So we're listening to you.
I really appreciate and thank God for meeting this program. I'm just entry now.
Okay, sir.
I want to, first of all, sorry for the lady you show on the screen recently. May God bless her and recover from whatever she must have spent.
Amen.
Secondly, the man with a facing cap.
Yes, sir.
I want to borrow from his speech with you here.
Okay.
He mentioned something about the past government. What are they doing? What have they done so far? Does it mean we should be going abroad for different things? I watched through your program yesterday. Benue State, nothing school or something like that. They are just installing solar lights and other things. How much will that cost part government to restore such a thing for security reasons? You can imagine many lives which they have lost in that state. Ordinary to install solar light and other security gadgets in that school. What will it take the government of Benue State? Please, I'm very sorry for this nation. Please, thank you for allowing me.
Thank you so much, Abu from Ipaja. Thank you very much for that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's pick this last call before we move on. Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Can you reduce the TV set? Reduce your TV set, please. All right. So what's your name, sir? Where are you calling from? Senior from Lagos. Okay, please go ahead. We're listening.
I want to put him out on the workers, Muslim workers.
Okay.
Because Nigeria has the other companies, when they come to Nigeria, they will settle the government. So if they have the right to find the workers, they have the right. Second, the level are not helping matters. Labor can only go maybe either the idea we can fight for you. But anything job that is not taking the government, they are going to get their full government mark, so we can everything from them. We do because that any other right, and people can talk. That was starting in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you so very much. Okay, so let's just read 2 messages. Then gratitude will take us to the next topic. Well, this one says, good afternoon, house. At 65, Nigerians still celebrates the rich people's society, and when they travel out, they keep quiet. And that is why the people want to leave. May God help us. This is Temi from Meron. Another one says, it's a pity that she's facing deportation to her nation where there is no good assured future. It's now for others to learn from her of not being disobedient to the land that she will be living in. UK is not Nigeria where the law is not effective. Well, thank you very much for that one. I think we all learned, and for everyone who plans to travel or make sure you are there by the laws of the land that you are going to. I think that